Hi Gemini, welcome to Sophquest. I'm Spence. Welcome back. If you're a subscriber, welcome in if you are new. So this is a big week. We've got a number of things happening astrologically, but we're going to start right into the card reading. What I will say is this is for June 21st through the 27th. The big news is that on June 24th, we're going to have a full moon in Capricorn. Full moons releasing and letting go of what we need to. That's old and stuck, and opening up to things that are new and fresh. And then also your planet, Gemini, Mercury, is going to finally move forward after being in retrograde for a number of weeks. And I know Mercury retrograde for you hits pretty hard. It hits home, doesn't it? So I'm sure that your wheels have been churning and turning. I know. So Mercury going forward, it's going to station on the 22nd and then move forward. And finally we'll be back up at full speed about the first week of July. So easier to make decisions, to think more clearly, to have more clarity, that kind of thing. Today we're going to use the Oracle of the Seven Energies by Colette Baron-Reid, which I am choosing one for you now. And I'm also going to use the Muse Tarot by Chris Ann for you. Do a 9 card. All right, so let's pull you a card from the Oracle of the Seven Energies. And there it is. Okay, quieting the mind. I mean, come on. Is that funny or what? Quieting the mind. Mercury retrograde much? Yeah. 32, quieting the mind. I just find that really funny. All right, 32. Quieting the mind for you, Gemini. Meditation as a commitment. The need for silence. Peace within, despite chaotic outer conditions. Letting go of the monkey mind. Having mindfulness. Life is chaotic, busy, loud, frenetic, and overwhelming. Some days all that noise is like the roar of thunder echoing around you, and it feels as if you're being pummeled by a rainstorm. Isn't this why we take vacations, to get away to somewhere peaceful? In spite of the surrounding din of the world, today you need to slow down and find a bit of peace. So go ahead and take a deep breath right now. Make a commitment to be still, if only for 5 minutes. Count your breaths and be mindful of every one of them. Know that you'll have all the time in the world to do the things that need doing. Everything is perfect as it is in this moment. Our core beliefs about the world originate in our thoughts and our feelings, which then become our perceptions. If our thoughts are all over the place, that's how we will experience the outer world. But what if the outer world didn't matter at all? What if, at our center, there were a place that is always calm, where the mind doesn't have a million things to say, where problems and challenges aren't nearly as important as we think they are? Today requires you to take an internal break and go to that silent space to regroup. Meditate on the stillness within. Choose a peaceful mind and nothing else. You'll be amazed by how easily everything else falls into place once you do. Very, very, very good advice for you, Gemini. Mercury retrograde affects you. And, you know, Mercury's been in Gemini and will be in Gemini through, into July. So it's been in sort of a longer period than normal. So it's been a time of deep thought and the monkey mind, right? But it's also a time when you take in a lot, Gemini, and you can really learn a lot. So now that we've moved into Cancer on June 20th, and we are now in the watery 4th house of Cancer, getting back home to ourselves, right? I think of Cancer, I think of home, I think of hearth, mother, I think of soup and warm blankets and the things that comfort us. And that is the time for you, Gemini, when you can take all those thoughts and all that mental energy and let it drop down into your heart. Let it be integrated into what you know that your heart needs, right? And then with the outer planets, we've got Jupiter this week, I think on the 21st, and then Neptune on the 25th going retrograde. So that's 4 planets still in retrograde, even after Mercury goes forward. Then, you know, that's a time where we where we can open up to unconditional love and forgiveness and peacefulness and seeing things for what they are on a soul level. Okay. All right, so that, just still shuffling for you. I'm going to cut now and choose the rest of your cards, quieting the mind for you, Gemini. All right, so far we have the Four of Inspiration, the Page of Emotions. Inspiration is the fire suit in this deck. Emotions is water, of course. So we have the Four of Inspiration, the Page of Emotions, the Five of Inspiration. I will show you all of these. The Four of Voices, which is the air sign. The Hanged Muse, the Two of Materials, that's Earth. The Two of Inspiration, the Two of Emotions, and the Hermit. Look at these twos and fours. All right. And two fives. You've got two fours, two fives, and three twos here. So we're looking at partnerships, we're looking at home, we're looking at solving conflict or change. So we're looking at changes in possibly your home, your relationship, and what you've been learning through your season, Gemini. I'm going to take this in for a minute, so if you would just take 3 deep cleansing breaths with me, bring down your cortisol, drop your shoulders, feel a little more grounded, helps to raise the serotonin and dopamine levels. All right, on the bottom of the deck we have the Five of Materials, which is the Five of Pentacles. Now this can be quite literal, so if you've been having some financial glitches, if you have been feeling some lack, any lack in your life, so whether that might be financial for you or with your work, or possibly feeling a little out in the cold from people or a little unsupported, this may be old energy that with the full moon in Capricorn we're letting go of. Capricorn is an earth sign, and this is an earth card. So I think this is about letting go of the things in the past where you maybe didn't feel supported, or maybe where you didn't feel like you could be supportive of others. So maybe just a solitary time for you. And moving forward from that, okay? And with quieting the mind, making peace with it, with whatever it was. Perhaps some solitude. I'm feeling that you've been in some solitude here. Or feeling a little stuck energy. Because in the center we have the Hanged Muse, which is the Hanged Man, right? This is the Muse deck, did I say that? From Chris Ann, lovely. I think what this is the center card, and considering this at the bottom of the deck, I do feel like through Mercury retrograde, you've been through a bit of solitary mindfulness. I think you've been trying to come into mindfulness. I do see that you have been struggling with these ideas and these thoughts about what keeps you stuck. Old patterns, old habits that have kept you stuck. All right, let's look at these. We'll go on the horizontal, then the vertical, and the big picture, okay? So we have the Four of Inspiration, the Page of Emotions, and the Five of Inspiration. Okay, the Four of Inspiration is the Four of Wands. It's home, it's celebration, it's get-togethers. It's what helps us feel stable in life. It's a good card. It's a card about being with others and feeling at home with others. Okay, then we have the Page of Emotions, which is the Page of Cups. Kindness, grace, nice messages. So this is good. You're looking at opening up in a way, I think verbally, right? Communicating in a way with the people in your life that just feels easier, right? Not so much conflict, not so much confusion. All right, and then because I say that because of the Five of Inspiration, this is the Five of Wands, and I love this card. I think this is an excellent card for the Five of Wands. This can be inner conflict, right? In each of these, you're seeing she's looking into a mirror. So what do I think about this? How do I feel about this? What do I want to do? So internally through Mercury retrograde, I think you've been asking yourself a lot of questions about the things that have bothered you in the past or made you feel separate from your people, from your group, or from being connected at all. So I think, Gemini, this is about getting back to this feeling where you're feeling connected instead of this feeling where you're feeling disconnected. So I think you're asking yourself, what is it that I need to feel more connected. I think that that's what that's about. And maybe making peace with it. Making peace with the things that you are changing, right? The old habits or the old ways of doing something that felt disconnected, and coming back into a way of feeling connected again. Then we have the Four of Voices, which is the Four of Swords, the Hanged Muse, which is the Hangman, and the Two of Materials, the Two of Pentacles. So, you've been busy. Whoa, I gotta do this and I gotta do this. It's doing two things at once. It's multitasking and it's being busy, okay? It's also prioritizing what to do and when to do it. So when you're at the Four of Swords, you're trying to take a little bit of a mind break, right? You're taking a break, letting your mind rest. This is getting peace of mind. It's when you get perspective, right? Taking time out, you know, to meditate, to pray, to rest your body and rest your mind. So you're resting your mind because you've been busy doing two things at once, trying to juggle, right? And in the center here with the Hanged Muse, it's looking at your life through a different perspective. And sometimes it does feel like a bit of stuckness, but I think between these two cards, it's about taking yourself into a space of allowing your mind to rest, giving yourself a break from thinking about all the things you have to do, going over the to-do list, right? And asking yourself, wait a minute, are these my priorities, or do I need to shuffle my priorities just a little bit? Maybe shuffling some priorities and taking a good look at that. All right, now, the last line we have the Two of Inspiration, which is the Two of Wands, the Two of Emotions, which is the Two of Cups, and the Hermit. So again, another card of thoughtfulness and thinking, right? And with quieting the mind, that's what the Hermit does. The Hermit goes inside, takes time out, you know, away from people, away from the noise, the din of the outside world, right? And considers, where do I want to go next? That's the Two of Wands. What's the path? The path that I'm on, the path that I'm trying to trot upon. Where do I want to take myself? And with the Two of Cups, it's about love, relationships, and people in your life. The ones you have affinity with, the ones you get along with, the ones you can be yourself with. That's the Two of Cups, who you can be yourself with. So I think you're looking at these things. You know, who can I be myself with? Who understands me on a deep level with the Hermit. Okay, now let's go vertically and take a good look at this, because I can see, Gemini, that you're trying very hard to get more at peace with yourself, more at home with yourself, and with others. What direction am I trying to go in? The direction of coming home to me, my people, my tribe. Having peace of mind, being accepted, being loved. Okay. Then we have the Page of Emotions and the Hanged Muse. Things I need to let go of, things I can forgive, being kind, speaking with kindness, reverence, and gratitude, having conversation that way, with another perspective, being able to share my thoughts and feelings with others, with the Two of Emotions. This is getting into a synergy with others and appreciating that and taking the time to do that. Because in the Page of Emotions, this is what makes us feel loved. This is the Page of Cups. It's either messages within, loving yourself. In Cancer season, we mother ourselves, right? We care and nurture for our own heart and what we need to feel happy, to feel good. That's the page, right? So it comes from a deep place, this Page of Cups. And it can just be small kindnesses to yourself and to others that gives you perspective and helps you get along and find that affinity with others as well. You're really wanting that with these two fours. Fours are about stability. So, you know, the Four of Wands and the Four of Swords is peace of mind and being at home with yourself and the people in your life. That's what you're doing. And you're really looking for that, right? You're looking at, how do I do this? And what works really well for me? Because I've been in this state of flux with the 5 of inspiration. It's like, how am I seeing myself? How am I seeing the way I am in the world? And how are the others in my life not only seeing me and accepting me, but themselves as well? Am I finding that kind of affinity with others? So this can be conflicting energy, especially if you've felt sort of out of sync with others. These 2 cards tell me you have been feeling out of sync. And it does make sense, because during Mercury retrograde, especially for you Gemini and for Virgos, both ruled by Mercury, it's a time where you're taking in so much that it can get you in a state of absolute mental flux. But I think that you've done better, this Mercury retrograde, because you've weighed out what your priorities are. You've gone back and forth over it. What's important to me right now? And what's helping me to go deep inside myself with this Hermit and deal with what's bothering me about myself, about the people in my surroundings, about life itself, and finding peace of mind. That's what you're looking for. Because on the bottom of the deck with this, that's not peace of mind. This is just feeling out of sync with others. And with the King of Swords underneath that, you are really wanting to make a decision about how to lift yourself up with this 4 of emotions. This is the bottom of the deck. Lifting yourself out of apathy. Lifting yourself out of complacency. In this one, I love this 4 of Cups, because the cup isn't being offered by the divine hand to her. She's actually sitting within it. That at all times you are sitting within the cup of life, the Holy Grail, the part of life that is so abundant, that says, look, your cup can runneth over if you lift your head up at all times and see the abundance of love in your life. It's everywhere in the world. You just have to look for it. So this is not going to help you, right? You have to make the decision to go down this road, the King of Swords, which is decisiveness, decidedly taking yourself into a better way of seeing yourself, rather than fighting with yourself. Well, how do others see me? Right? No. This is about going within and understanding who your soul is. Gemini, have you met your own soul yet? I used to ask that question a lot. So, what are you going back and forth over? And what kindness do you need to give to yourself? Seeing the new perspective about love itself, about affinity, about people, about how you get along with others, and being in the company of others with peace of mind, with stability. Finding the tribe, the people who accept you for who you are. I think that's what you've been thinking about. And I think that when you get still and you realize that accepting yourself is the key to accepting others, and that accepting others is the key to accepting yourself, that's when we find affinity. That's when we can be who we are with ourselves and with our tribe, our people. So disallow yourself to feel out of alignment with others by lifting up your head. Yes, see them with the perspective that they might be different from you, but know that to each his own. To each his own. Okay? And then you can see it. You can see that having peace of mind is an inside job. You don't need anything in your outer world to change your mind about that. About the world, about other people, or about yourself. You just need to do this. Okay, Gemini? I wish you kindness, reverence, and gratitude. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will talk to you again next week. Take care. Bye-bye.